And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. Well, Senator Hillary Clinton still on shaky ground after a not-so-definitive press conference yesterday, and she may be at risk of repeating the 2008 campaign by losing some very important progressive supporters who appear to be in the market for, get this, a Plan B. Which supporters, do you ask? Well, Hollywood, of course. And according to a new article in the Hollywood Reporter, Norman Lear, who is king of the Hollywood liberals, telling the publication that if Hillary decides not to run, he will be backing Elizabeth Warren. And whomever King Lear decides to support, scores of Hollywood elites such as Jeffrey Katzenberg, Fox film chief Jim Ganopoulos will follow. Not to mention actors like Edward Norton, Susan Sarandon, Mark Ruffalo, the usual crowd. So, how much money are we talking about? Well, in 2012, celebs and Tinseltown executives donated close to $12 million to the Obama campaign. Take that cash and an endorsement from a big deal like George Clooney, and boom, a chosen candidate has a boost in votes. So, Rick, you still use a cell phone, I believe, with the 310 area code, right?
I do.
It is 310
It is,
in LA,
yeah.
so I thought. So let's say Hillary stays in the race. Will Hollywood abandon her much like they did in 2008? Because I remember she lost, like David Geffen, for instance, was a key loss.
Except here, I disagree with much of what the Hollywood Reporter wrote. For starters, let's go back to 2008. You know, Norman Lear is a very well-respected liberal.
All in the Family?
In Hollywood. All in the Family, the Jeffersons, on and on and on. But Norman Lear is not one of the larger political contributors to Democratic campaigns. The two biggest contributors in Hollywood are gentlemen named Chaim Saban and Stephen Bing. The two of them in 2008, when people like Jeffrey Katzenberg, Norman Lear, and others were supporting Barack Obama, they were still supporting Hillary Clinton. So there is no common thing that happens there. I can't tell you who people in Hollywood will support if Hillary were to not run. But if she's running, the big money in Hollywood is going to be there for her. Trust me when I tell you that you could add up all of Hollywood, and they don't come close to Bing and Saban.
That's interesting. Heather, you're a stunt double for Jennifer Garner.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Those Capital One
Hell
commercials. Yeah. So share your Hollywood insight on this.
You know, I don't have much Hollywood insight, except that I do think that Elizabeth Warren isn't necessarily the next best choice. I know that's what the Hollywood Reporter said, but you know, given that this election is going to be all about foreign policy, without a doubt, she has not spoken on foreign policy. She runs from the question when it's asked of her. So I think that the Democrats are going to have to really look better than her to find somebody who can fill Hillary's shoes if she doesn't decide to run.
Who's your plan B, Jenny? I have a feeling you may lean Democrat in presidential elections.
I actually don't. You know, I'm pegged that way, but I'm very open-minded about voting, and I've voted very different ways in the previous decades. But, you know, I think what we're really looking at here is name recognition that is the prize. You know, a popular celebrity getting behind your campaign is a big deal. And, you know, back in 2008, there was a much tighter race between Hillary and Barack Obama. So that was a very different scenario. I mean, I think now everybody really needs to revive Hillary, and I think that, you know, whatever happens, the biggest, much bigger than campaign finance, because she can get that a lot of different places, is the pop culture name recognition and mobilizing millennials and different types of target audiences that only celebrities can.
See, I actually don't agree with that. I don't think anybody votes because a celebrity has a candidate. It's the money that matters.
It's not because a celebrity has a candidate, it's because a celebrity is the mouthpiece for that candidate's talking points and for their policy. When so many times, you know, younger people will not, you know, really pay attention to politics. They're not going to, I mean, there's a lot of different demographics that don't really speak that political language. If there's a celebrity boiling it down to their daily lives and what the policies mean for them as a certain generation, then it makes a big difference.
And I think the biggest celebrities that Hillary has are Bill and Chelsea, right? I mean, in many ways,
Chelsea's
they're
huge.
going to be the talking people for both of them on either end. When you talk about the younger people, I think she definitely knows how to speak.
I am all for Chelsea in 2016 personally, because she's doing amazing things in the world. So
and she actually has a much lesser problems as far as emails and all that stuff as well.
But remember, she's doing those things in the world where at the Clinton Global Initiative.
And there's going to be so many questions about that. But Bill also, I mean, when Hillary talks, she still says we. So I think that, you know, if you take away Tinseltown, who's going to be the spokespeople for her? It's going to be those two, really, bringing it in.
I'm not arguing that. I'm with you. I think those are Hillary's two biggest assets.
You know, but look, she's made a tremendous mistake, and we all realize that. Hollywood realizes that, the political establishment realizes that, and so does the rest of America. But average voters are much more forgiving. They're going to wait and see what happens before they make a judgment and knock her out of this race. So, but I do think that Elizabeth Warren, you know, she's a little soft on foreign policy, but she hasn't come out yet. She hasn't really come into her own.
Yeah,
she's
She
come out.
can't speak
She
from-
can't win.
And she can't win. She
I love
doesn't.
her. I
How
think
has she
she's
come
the
out?
But she hasn't.
We all know who
She's
she
not running
is.
for
Right.
president.
No,
Well,
we all know who
that's
she
But
is.
she's very
That's
strong
why.
on women's issues, and that's
No,
a big voting
again,
bloc,
love-
and there
I
are a
love
lot
her.
of women
It's-
across the country
Yeah,
who are
I
very
love her.
familiar.
But
can't
women
win.
want good people who are good with foreign policy
Yeah.
as well.
I love
And
her,
she's
but
not.
she's not ready
for
to be
sure.
president.
Well, I don't think we know yet.
Yep, well, we still got 21 months to get to know all the candidates if they actually come about. More Daily Wrap next on Daily Newsmax TV.